Hey guys, it's Deepak Shukla here again from Serpwizz.com. Please do head over to Serpwizz.com to get your free instantly actionable SEO audit. You'll get something that looks beautiful like this. It might look even more awesome by now. So I'm looking at pearllemon.com. That's our SEO agency, and I'm checking out our report and what we've got back. So right now, I wanted to go through the Robots.txt. So I want to talk a little bit about if you've got this, what it means and why it's important, etc. So if you've not yet looked at the XML sitemap video, then I do recommend that you check that, because these two are to a degree related. So your robots.txt file is your robots exclusion protocol. So what that means is that the robots, they being the Google algorithm bots and otherwise Bing, etc., Yandex, Baidu, depending upon where you're from, they will crawl your site. And a robots text really actually tells them what to ignore when they're crawling. Okay, so you've got your XML sitemap that gives the entire sitemap structure, okay, and that will typically sit in your actual robots text. Now, they can both be identified automatically by Google. A lot of the time that does happen, but it is good practice to put your XML sitemap into your actual robots text. So if you've got your website here, you can check your robots text in the same way, okay? And your robots text will contain basically, and it says user agent, it will contain a load of disallowed files. So I think I've got mine open here, robots text. So user agent sitemap index sitemap index XML file, which shows you that my sitemap is within my robots text, because then it can see the entire website, and then there you can stop some of these pages, as you can see here, from being crawled. Now that means that these sites will not appear within Google search, because they're being told that do not look at this page because it has no relevancy to our actual results that we want to display. And that's robots text. And of course, why it's important is because it can clean up a lot of unnecessary junk. You get, as we was talking about in the XML sitemap video, you get like a crawl budget or a crawl limit, and you want to get rid of any junk on your website that isn't really useful for people to find via Google. So if you were to run your site through, for example, Google search site.pearllemon.com, which checks you how many pages are indexed, there's 517. Whereas if I was to run that through, for example, to Screaming Frog and do a big crawl, there's probably going to be over 700 results here, okay, which means that there's going to be a lot more. So currently 517 results are indexing, okay, and that's a combination of what's accessible via sitemap, which is here, which we submit via Google Search Console, but then we also submit our robots text, okay, and the robots text, I think, is uploaded to our actual server, if I'm correct. I'd need to double check that, but I've also opened up a couple of things here. I was looking at the site, the name, as you can see, I was looking at this Neil Patel thing, and So you've got crawl rate limit, which we've spoken about. The second part is crawl demand. If there's no demand from indexing, there'll be low activity from Googlebot. Basically, crawl budget is the number of URLs Google's can and wants to crawl, and you want to ultimately, as you can see, solve all of these things. And one of the things is avoiding certain pages, as we said. So your robots file is looking there, okay, and it will also tell you finding your file. We've discussed this. Here it is. So you can go via your FTP, which is your file transfer protocol. So that's what is on your hosting account website. So we host, for example, with WPX. We could find our root directory. We could head to file management, and then you could find it in here. And there's the htaccess file that lives in here also from some of my other videos. And to create one, you can probably generate one online, but you can also just write one out, a user agent term, and then write them out, the pages that you want to disallow. And if we keep going, yeah, duplicate content, thank you pages, other directives, no index and no follow. So that's quite a powerful one also, that's set up via robots text. And I think you can set that via WordPress as well, but you want to have some pages that you don't want to have indexed, and a link that you don't want followed. So no index is a whole page that's not indexed within Google search, and then no follow is it does appear in Google search, but you don't want any of the links out from it to be followed. So you have a whole load of variations. So I hope that that's useful to you in terms of thinking about the whole space. And is there anything else? Here we go. So this is useful for you to know. Purpose of a sitemap is to indicate to search engines all the web pages that should crawl on your website. A Robots.txt is created to signify which pages to crawl and which to omit. So it's like the instructions that come with the sitemap. And how do we add it? Locate your sitemap URL, locate your Robots.txt file, add it by manually editing in a TXT file, how to edit a Robot.txt file, multiple sitemap locations. So guys, I hope that that's enough at least to get you on the journey of understanding your not your XML sitemap, but your Robots.txt challenges. Go via our tools section, open this up, and then in there you can check your own site URL to check a client if it's something individually you want to look at. So that is what to do, what to know about your Robots.txt file. Catch you in the next one.